9,000 years old skeleton was found in England. After DNA test, the scientist found out that his relative leaves one half from his discovery. Metros in Iran today. Interesting photographs of civil servants in different countries. Yesterday a Cuban pilot defected to the United States and in Soviet era and converted to a crop duster. At age 21, Katie was the youngest person in the United States to receive a face transplant. Sergio Gutierrez Benitez, better known as Fray Tormenta, priest who wrestled to feed orphan children. Inspiration for Nacho Libre movie. UFO reports across the globe from 1906 to 2014. Cup had chip under them to prevent refills. South African spear fisherman, Jojo van Niekerk, in September 1989, bearing a recent wound from a great white bite. It was a 1 in a million freak accident, he told reporters. Just 2 months later, diving Melkbestrand, Van Niekerk disappeared, and a few days after his shark-bitten leg washed ashore. A Ukrainian helicopter flying with freeway traffic to avoid Russian radar. Realizing that I'll never be able to flex on my enemies harder than America did when it set up this pyramid of Imperial German picklehorb helmets in New York City in 1990. The Empire State Building ablaze after a B-25 bomber crashed into it in thick fog over New York City on July 28, 1945. Bruce Willis starred in 22 films between 2020 and 2022. South Korea, with a population of 52 million, is roughly the same size as Ireland, including Northern Ireland, with a population of 7 million. This picture of a cemetery looks like two pictures put together. Spain's Rio Tinto, the river with a pH between 1.7 and 2.5, contains sulfuric acid. Its red color comes from dissolved iron and other heavy metals. This ray of sun in the Amazon. Have you ever seen a blender with a 6 feet diameter rotor? Underwater during a sunset. Each bottle is the same whiskey matured in the cask for 1 year more than the last. Soviets and Indians are brothers. Soviet India propaganda poster. Michelangelo was such a detail-oriented artist that he even modeled muscles in the arm, which are more pronounced only when a finger is raised, as seen on the meticulously chiseled marble sculpture of Moses. Major geography terms in a picture. A bridge underneath is lit, reflecting across the water to form a moon. A landlord's wet dream. A sink or stove or mini fridge combo found by a Redditor. This amplifies the noises in a forest, something my life has been missing out on. This fresh honey dispenser at a hotel breakfast in Japan. Philippine students get creative when asked to make anti-cheating headgears for university exams. Baby snapping turtles look like little dinosaurs. My best images of Jupiter and Saturn since I started this hobby in 2017. Both were captured from my backyard using an 11-inch telescope. Temporary road build around a landslide in Japan, Fuki Prefecture. On the left is the original mask that the 1978 Halloween film crew intended to use for Michael Myers, until they eventually settled on the iconic William Shatner mask painted white, right, as they decided it was more creepy, since it was emotionless. Unlike many cats, jaguars do not avoid water. The Mayans saw these powerful felines as their companions in the spiritual world, and several Maya rulers bore names that incorporated the Mayan word for jaguar, Balam, in many of the Mayan languages. Balam remains a common Maya surname in Latin America. This band has someone playing a gun as a percussion instrument. This Walgreens rep proposed an old bank vault for vitamins. It is Kukataha here in Nepal. Today is when dogs are worshipped and thanked for their loyalty. Mysterious compound in Mexico, owned by Teachers Group, a Danish cult that has made its fortune through international charity embezzlement. The doors of a hangar at Hickam Air Force Base were designed to perfectly accommodate the Globe Master. This is how an owl looks while walking. Lightning struck a golf flagpole. My best bud's pumpkin carved this year. This error in Salamanca, Spain is built into an 18th century convent. Tesla is still worth more than top 20 European banks combined. Tesla market cap. European banks market cap. The evolutionary tree of religion. Cable barricade does its job and stops a loaded dump truck from crossing interstate median into oncoming traffic. Happened yesterday on eastbound I-80 near Park City, Utah. The discovery of the ancient statue of Antinous found in Delphi, Greece during an excavation in 1894. Abandoned railroad which is a part of the Helensburgh Railway Tunnels, New South Wales. Ukrainian dogs lined up at a displaced pet feeding station in Kramatorsk. Florida's Hurricane Ian tore off 26 years of vinyl print to reveal the last hand-painted sign this billboard saw back in 1996 for the Dodge Caravan. Nowadays billboards are printed vinyl, but in the 90s they were painted by hand. Pretty cool flashback amongst the chaos and destruction from the storm. Researchers have found that during thunderstorms plants emit electric discharges along with hydroxyl, OH, and hydroperoxyl, HO2, which can change the surrounding air quality by altering molecules. Mahsa Amini in Times Square. Billionaires of every state. The richest billionaire in every state in 2022. Pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon that causes people to see patterns in a random stimulus. This often leads to people assigning human characteristics to objects. Usually this is simplified to people seeing faces in objects where there isn't one. Remote-controlled gun in Israeli military checkpoint, occupied Hebron, Palestine. The Chicxulub asteroid that impacted Earth 66 million years ago and wiped out the dinosaurs, projected against downtown Manhattan. Light shining through the marble of Undine rising from the waters, by Chauncey Ives, 1880. This outwardly landscape is Finland in winter. Temperature drops -40 and trees get covered in snow. A tombstone in a plantation of a man who was a teenager during the Civil War and died after World War II. Deacon James Snipe, June 15, 1845 to June 19, 1947. Addressed. Graphic designer and photographer Ulrich Collette creates amazing split family face portraits. Here is some of his work. A construction worker passing by the eclipsed sun. Oldest Qur'an manuscript is the Birmingham Qur'an manuscript. It is carbon dated to be around 1370 years old. It is most likely from the year 568 to 645. A lateral X-ray of my head. The age we peek at everything according to science. A door lock made by Frank Koralewski in 1911. It's covered with gold, silver and bronze. I folded this origami figure from one uncut square of paper that was bulk on one side and yellow on the other. Plan of work for a small servantless house, 1930. The coat Vice Admiral Horatio Nelson was wearing when he was killed at the Battle of Trafalgar, the 21st of October 1805. The bullet hole is visible in the left shoulder. Rhinoplasty and other plastic surgeries existed in 20s. Scaphism, a horrible texture method allegedly used in Persia. Bilbies in a South Australian nature reserve have poison pellets implanted in their seen by scientists so that if a feral cat eats them, the cat is killed when the pellet dissolves. The pellet is coated, and the bilbies also have natural resistance to the poison, sodium fluorocetate, 1080. The earliest photograph of the linga, given by Boston Braves pitcher Charles Oldhouse Radbourne, 1886. Went to Berlin's body exhibition. At a US Army military camp in 1939, when an axe turns into a razor. Alligator eyes shining in Florida's Mayaca River. Cool leaf design I saw on the way to school. Pluto lamps were first demonstrated at the Great Exhibition of 1897. They included an automatic machine that could dispense a gallon of hot water or a half penny's worth of beef tea essence, cocoa, milk, sugar, tea, or coffee. Atrium of the Marriott Marquis Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. Hall of Mirrors, Palace of Versailles, Versailles, France. I photographed a jumping spider. Because I saw the Indian version, the Soviet Chinese always together. With 34.5 hours on average worked per week, people are now working almost 2 weeks to cover rent a month on average. Angkor Wat, Siem Reap, Cambodia. Botticelli's painting Primavera, 1482, contains over 200 types of identifiable flowers. A working old cash register. I got to use it. Plants dying in stages due to changes in sunlight angle. Protest against the Iranian regime draws thousands in Berlin. The protests were led by Hamd Esmailian, who lost his daughter and wife in the shooting down of the PS-752 flight by the Iranian government. The crowd coincidentally resembles the shape of an airplane. Desert centipede was under my desk. The hummingbird hawk moth. This moth is often mistaken for a real hummingbird, as it has an incredibly rapid wing speed, up to 85 beats per second. It can maneuver/hover just like a hummingbird. It feeds on nectar, and it emits a humming noise as it flies. A plane in the eclipsed sun. This tree covered entirely in parrots than leaves. Elderly Palestinian woman plants flowers in Israeli army tear gas grenades, occupied Palestine. Famous people who never reached their golden years. Celebration of Diwali, Festival of Light, in Varanasi, India. There are about 150,000 diyas, small lamps, present. New Zealand soldiers holding a captured German tank Jaguar, the world's first anti-tank rifle. Akureyri, a fishing town in Iceland. When ships pass through Point Nemo in the Pacific Ocean, the nearest land masses, 2,700 kilometers, 1,677 miles away. This means that at certain times of the day, planes excluded, the nearest humans are on the International Space Station 416 kilometers, 256 miles, up. Hotel de Draak is the oldest hotel in the Netherlands. started operating in 1397. These 4 sea turtle hatchlings showcase the various species found in Florida, left to right, loggerhead, hawksbill, green and leatherback. This is how far we went with in-game graphic. New Call of Duty 2022. And this is a picture I took with my smartphone, so a screenshot world looked even better. Picture I took of the ceiling in the Church of St. Ignatius of Loyola in Rome. The dome at the bottom of the picture is an illusion. Due to lack of funds to build a dome, the flat ceiling was painted as to look like one. The great-eared nightjar's gape usually extends wide to catch insects. When not eating, they fold up to the point where the beak is barely visible. Soviet fighter pilot cemetery. Country-wise school uniform policy. Status of school uniform. Uniform is mandated by government. Uniform is commonplace. Uniform is uncommon. Uniform is prohibited by government. Alien life form. Nope. It's a sea cucumber closely related to sea stars and sea urchins. This is called an Ichneust, which belongs to the genus of deep sea cucumber. You can see the intestines and other internal organs through its clear body wall. Costume fashion. A piece of bacon. The author in fancy dress as a side of bacon designed by himself, which took the first prize of 40 guineas at the Covent Garden Fancy Dress Ball, April 1894. The Sami are an indigenous people who inhabit Sápmi, their preferred name for Lapland, and adjacent areas of northern Norway, Sweden, and Finland, as well as the Kola Peninsula of Russia. Pilot Robin Martinez from Cuba just defected to USA, stealing a small plane and flying to the Florida Keys. Federal officials and the Miami-Dade Police and Aviation Departments confirmed that he had commanded a plane at the airport in Sancti Spiritus and landed on US soil. Plant fossils in amber. Handmade Celtic chess set. Second day of European Council strategic debate on China. There are no mobile phones in the room. Ghost spider at 10 times zoom. Scientists grew brain organoid with optic cups that function like eyes. Photo by Elk Gabriel. Welsh Christmas tradition Merriowid. A subreddit that is trying to bring back script, Avastan, removed by Arabs with their Arabic during their Islamic conquest. They are also trying to make a keyboard and app based of it. I photographed the pollen structures inside a tiny flower. Amazon forests of the underground. Why scientists want to map the world's fungi. The Jesus lizard is a species of lizard known for its ability to run on the surface of water. A concrete structure in the shape of an aircraft carrier in Shanghai, China. The building, about 100 meters long and over 10 meters high, has replicas of military weapons on its flight deck-like surface, equipped with solar panels. The building is used as a theater inside. The inside of Marilyn Monroe's house, exactly as she left it. These photos were taken not long after she died. It was the only home she ever owned. She got to live in it for just 6 months. My pup's rare eyes. She has heterochromia, different colored eyes, but also central heterochromia on the blue eye, different color in the middle, and sectoral heterochromia on the other, crescent-shaped blue streak in dark brown eye. She is a cavapoo, which do not commonly have heterochromia. St. Elmo's fire. A weather phenomenon in which luminous plasma is created by an electrical discharge caused by the ionization of a fluid surrounding a conductor carrying a high voltage. Some spiders have teeth along with their fangs, such as this orb weaver I photographed earlier. A picture I took. The Alps as seen from the Pyrenees in near infrared. A mountain 257 miles / 415 kilometers away is visible. More info below. Alps as seen from the Pyrenees. Relative sizes. Su 30 sm. left, Su-35, right, and the MiG-29, middle. Partial eclipse this noon. This official CIA evasion rectal suppository. The CIA escape and evasion rectal suppository was a multipurpose kit packed within a smooth waterproof black plastic or aluminum shell. Circa 1955. Actual size 4 inches long by 1 inch diameter. National Dogs Helpline Know the Score Dog Awareness Campaign from 1998. Mammoth ivory statuette the Venus of Bratsempoi. Upper Paleolithic period, Gravettian culture, circa 25,000 BP. Found in 1894 in Pate Cave, Bratsempoi, Landes, France. Height 3.6 centimeters, weight 2.0 centimeters, thickness 2.2 centimeters. Musée d'Archéologie Nationale, Domaine National de Saint-Germain-en-Laye, France. The process of voting in Oregon, USA, which has automatic universal postal voting. Collection of learner, new driver tags that fell off at my dealership's car wash. Abandoned streets of the Love Canal environmental disaster in the 1970s. Falcon Heavy, located in the hangar at Launch Complex 39A. Switzerland light show on the House of Parliament. The Flute by Zdzislaw Beksinski, hand-carved pumpkin, 2022. This World War II tank destroyer that had its ammunition hit by another tank. A tour military museum. Knowledgeable world. Ancient Roman sarcophagus with a depiction of harvest. This piece of amber I bought for $5 US really bugs me.